So growing up, you never know, well at least I didn't know, that the friends that you have are good for you in a sense. Like growing up, I never knew if I picked the right ones, and I didn't know if they were going to lead me where I wanted to be led or where I should be led. And so a quote that shows that is, if the blind lead the blind, both fall into a ditch. And it's from the Bible. And I think it goes with what I said about like the friends. I interpret that as if you're both at the same place, neither one of you are gonna go further. I think you're both just gonna stay the same. And so another example would be in my job personally. My manager, I don't really see him as a manager just because he does the same exact stuff that we do, just he gets paid more. And it's hard for me to see him as like a higher figure just because he doesn't really do much. I don't know, he doesn't really act like a manager. He talks to us really weird. But I think with the friends and my job, it's hard for you to know exactly where you want to be led. And so I think with both of those, I think you show that if you're both if you have two people and they're both at the same pace, then neither one of you are going to succeed. Or fail, actually. We could, but you're just going to stay the same. That's it.
All right, well, I like the personal perspective that you had at the beginning. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to tie into the quote that you had. Then I thought maybe you had a reasonable interpretation of it, and it sounded like you were going someplace, but it doesn't go very far. You've got one example that you mentioned about the job, and there's not much detail on it. You say basically that your manager does the same thing as you do and they talk to you the same way. Well, actually, they talk to you kind of weird, and I'm going, okay, so what's weird about it? And how does this fit in with your theme? I wasn't quite sure how it tied together, so that's a little bit of a problem. There's no preview, there's not really development of the content, there's no detectable outline, so that's problematic when it comes to the content issues. Presentation issues, your projection's okay. I think you could be a lot more energetic, though, in the presentation. Pacing, it sounds fluid for the amount of time that you're speaking. I didn't notice that there were any problems with the gestures. There were some indicators while you were speaking, and your facial expression seemed normal. And you're looking at people for the most part. There's a lot of anxiety coming out in your feet. You've got the nervous feet. You know, that's where all of your energy is coming out. So that'll be something that you'll want to watch out for in the future. There's not really much to summarize, so the end of the speech sounds pretty quick. I mean, it was basically a minute and a half, so there's not a huge amount of content there to evaluate. I mentioned to people while you were out, so you didn't get a chance to hear it, remember that you don't have a peer evaluation you're doing, you have a self-evaluation that you're doing, so you have to go on, watch your YouTube video, and post comments about your own presentation. Okay.